All right, here we are. It's a beautiful summer's day. The birds are chirping, the sun is shining, but not for long because it's gonna rain soon. But anyway, before that happens, we're gonna cook ourselves a hot dog. And naturally, the question arises, how long should we cook the hot dog for to get it perfectly cooked? And beyond that, how high above the coals should it be? And how big of a bed of coals should we use? Should we even use coals at all? Well, we have to use coals because that's like what the homework assignment has us do. Whatever. So we're gonna calculate that, and then we're gonna set it up and we're gonna cook a hot dog. So I don't have real hot dogs, but we're gonna use these kielbasas instead, and hopefully they're pretty close. Pretty close. So according to our calculations, it will take exactly 555 seconds to cook the hot dog, assuming that we set everything up exactly the same way that we calculated. Okay, cool. So we have our perfect setup right here. As you can see, it is 52 centimeters long, and the kielbasa that we're cooking is only like 20 centimeters long, so this is fine. And then we ran the study with it at 20 centimeters from the bed of the coals, and so once we prop it up on here, that's about where the center of the hot dog will be. And so hopefully I don't put too much lighter fluid on. Oh, are those ones on the edge not really getting lit? We wanna have a good, valid experiment.
They're not really blue.
Oh, look at that twig just getting bent and toasted away. Great. Alrighty. The coals are burning pretty hot. Not that hot. We'll see how it goes. The hot dog is skewered, and we're ready to rig it up to cook it. So at this point, I realized that the really thin wooden skewer that I was planning to use wasn't going to work. It was too floppity. So instead I got a metal skewer. And the coals really weren't that hot around the edges, so we pushed them all to the middle and relit them to get them all to burn properly. But then in doing so, when we spread them back out, we didn't spread them out into a perfect square rectangle like before because it was kind of hard to do. So what follows is a best attempt at cooking the hot dog perfectly.
Bread for 3 stinking days.
Alrighty, so slightly different setup, better for cooking, not as accurate to the experiment. Got a little stand to put the skewer on. It's roughly at the right height, and all the coals are actually like lit now. We put them in the middle, lit them all, so it's actually hot. Yeah, we'll see what happens. So we still have the metal skewer hot dog because the metal skewer is just gonna be easier to use. Oh, here, would you, thanks, bro. Alrighty, we're gonna set the timer. Ready, set, go. And we'll wait for it to be 9 minutes and 15 seconds. Hopefully the hot dog actually gets cooked this time through. The coals are actually hot this time, so that probably, I don't know. According to my calculations, the coals being hot like affects the heat transfer to the hot dog. So, yeah. So, okay, 9 minutes and 15 seconds.
This one.
Oh, is this one? Oh, okay. Well. I don't think we're gonna get to 68 though. We'll chalk that up to the wind. It looks pretty tasty. I'm ready to take a bite, but first, I need some ketchup. Luke, could you pass me the ketchup?
I got you.
Oh, thank you. This is exactly what I needed. This is really gonna hit the spot. I wonder how ketchup will actually be on a kielbasa. This is not even really a hot dog, but Let's see. It's pretty good. Despite it not being exactly 68 degrees, it feels pretty well cooked to me. Yeah, so that's how you cook a hot dog, the scientific way.
Alrighty, so the final centerline temperature of the hot dog was measured to be only 56.8 degrees Celsius instead of the perfect 68 degrees Celsius that we were hoping for. There's a number of reasons for this, right? The wind was blowing. We didn't set up the geometry exactly the way we calculated it beforehand. So after the experiment was said and done, I went back and remeasured the bed of coals exactly as it was. We put that in, changed some of the ratios that we had to better match with the pictures of the actual coal spacing. And at the end of the day, we calculated that for the amount of time that we cooked it, the centerline temperature should have been 56.78 degrees, which is pretty close. It heavily depends on the spacing of the coals and on lots of things that we couldn't control for. So if the spacing of the coals was a little bit different than we plugged in here, then maybe we were a little bit more off. But it's good to know that the model that we have actually can work. So yeah, there we go. Thanks for watching. Tune in next week for the exciting answer to that impossible question. Is a hot dog actually a sandwich? Same bat time, same bat channel.